president, and we'll do them in alphabetical order. Okay? So, Eunice, if you would like to come up. So you're going to have 3 minutes. Helen will time you, and she'll tell you when you've got like 10 seconds left or something, so you know to wrap it up. Okay?
My name is Eunice, and I've been a part of student unionism since 2003, when I had my first degree as vice president in Nigeria, Africa. I believe in student voices. That is when we speak as one. And from what I've seen so far in the University of Bolton Student Union, I think the union has lost its vibrancy. We've lost the voice. It's as if we don't even exist around here. But I believe we can make it happen together. And above all, the student union has lost connection with the host community and the students. A lot of students have lost interest in the union because there's no activities really, no input into the university's decisions and all sorts. I've got a lot of things in my manifesto, but because I've got just 3 minutes to spend here, I will show you a few of my promises to you. I don't know what you expect to say your union do for you, but what would you like to see? Thank you.
Okay, as there's only Eunice standing for this position, if anybody's got any questions for Eunice, we can take those next. No questions? Okay. Take a seat. Adam Johnson will be up next, so Adam's standing for the position of President.
Right, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Adam Johnson. I've been a student at Bolton for 3 years. And in this time I've always tried to be an active member of the Students' Union. This has included being a member of the bar staff in the loft, a freshers legend for 2 years, the men's hockey captain for 2.5 years, and in my first year I decided to run as a non-sabbatical officer for sporting societies. It's truly been a privilege to be an active member of this Students' Union, a union that I'm proud of, and hopefully you will be proud of as well. If elected your Students' Union President, I promise to build relationships between employers and outside university people to the University of Bolton. It's about time that you as students you're able to access work placements regardless of your degree, regardless if your degree asks you to do work experience or not. Funding, if elected, I will make sure the Students' Union receives all of its funding from the university. It requires a lot of money, I think we should have it. The University of Bolton is a dynamic university with students from varied backgrounds. If elected, I will listen to every single one of you, regardless of your background. I will be a president for the students and not for just a percentage. If elected, I automatically become a member of the university's Board of Governors. I will bring your suggestions to the highest powers, I promise you that. Academically, I promise to build bridges between you and your lecturers and to the Students' Union. I will work in unison with the Students' Union staff, fellow officers, and I will not work against them. But most of all, I will be a president that is approachable, honest, hard-working and reliable. As an active member of the Students' Union, I have always strived to do my best for the organisation. This won't change. I will not stop until the job is done. So please, over the next few days, take the time to vote for an honest, reliable and trustworthy president, and please vote Alan Johnson for Student Union President. Thank you.
Yeah, take a seat for now, we'll do questions at the end.
How are we today? For those who don't know me, I'm Arthur Kadu. I've been at this uni 3 years. My first year wasn't the best because of the Students' Union. There was things happening. Second year was the best time because I was a freshers legend. Third year I was a freshers legend. And when I became a freshers legend, it's because of my experience through my first year. So I wanted to show something different to the students. So I wanted to show them what the Students' Union is all about. So if elected as your new president, I can guarantee you that I will do everything in my power to ensure that students have a Students' Union they can be proud of. I'm also ready to move the Students' Union from just Bolton to different universities, because as far as I know, this university just relies within Bolton. They don't go to different universities and find out what's going on and things like that. So we need to be worldwide now. So pick a candidate that could do fun stuff, and also a candidate who's going to be tough. You don't have to just pick a candidate who's going to be fun and is not going to stand for any problems you've got. And pick a candidate who is winning, not just locally but nationally, worldwide. Pick a candidate who is proven to deliver results. In my first year, I didn't deliver a good result because my experience was not good. Then when it came to my second year, it was excellent. So I provided a good results. And if you've got any first year students in here, they will tell you about that. No? No. So I will create a strong, united representative union that puts you at heart, and you will be happy with the Students' Union if elected as a new president. Thank you very much.
For those who don't know me, my name is Chidoku Tutwa, go by the name DJ Young Chizi, and yeah, that's what most of you know me as. And why I'm running for this position is because I've been involved with the uni for the past 2 years, or the past 2 years I've been in union. This is my 3rd year in uni. And the union is a very, very helpful place if you use the resources they have the right way. And I know the way we can talk to them and enforce things, because like a lot of people do not know like what the union is. I think you see me today and you say, oh, vote for me for the president, for the union, and like, what's the union? And I want to let people know like the union is there for them. And one other thing as well is this uni, there's a problem I see, maybe I just see myself, but there's a problem where I see that like people are not mixing together, because there's groups, like if you come to the SLZ outside the radio station, all you just see is Asian people. Then you come to the SLZ in the middle, all you just see is just black people on their own. And if you go upstairs, it's just like white people just chilling on themselves. And I'm not trying to be racist, but I want people to mix and have events for all the people. And you get events for like, you know, people who are coming, international students who are coming from places like India. They've got Diwali nights. I want to be able to enforce that their holidays are also put in our calendar for the university, and also be able to interact with other universities from other places, because me as a DJ, I go to places like where they call me and I come DJ for our event for this university. And this year I DJed for freshers only, but I haven't done any other event for the uni. And I want everyone to be like, because we've got people in the university that are capable of doing a lot of things, like we've got a lot of DJs in our university, and we want to use them for their opportunity. And we save in that way as well, it saves us money, rather than like just getting the like other people from outside and be hiring a lot of people. And we've got people who do music. I study sound engineering and design. I can talk to the people at SSR because I've spoken to them. This year I was helping with the radio station, and they've helped us change the radio station in the way that like they've made more connections with the radio station. Sorry if I am talking a little bit fast. Sorry, like I tend to talk a little bit fast. I've got only 3 minutes to say. Okay, so I've spoken about. Alright, I'm always to help. Like always gonna be here to help everyone and all their needs, what they want. And you know me, I'm just a happy chappy guy. I'm just easygoing. You know, you come to me with your problems and I'll be there for you and I'll do anything you want to the best of my ability. And yeah, that's me, DJ M20132014. Cheesy for the president. Peace.
Before I get everybody up, has anybody got questions that they're going to ask? You have. You have. Okay, so the 3 candidates, president wants to come and stand up here then. If once the questions are asked, you might as well just order it, answer it in the order that you spoke. Yeah.
Alright, you've heard what your fellow contenders have had to say. What is it that you've got to offer that, you know, they are not going to be able to offer for me? You know, you being a president.
Yeah. As you say, all 3 of us think are valuable candidates. We've all got a good manifesto to look into. I think that my role as a sports and societies officer in my 2nd year sort of gives me the knowledge of how a students' union should run, and the knowledge of how a students' union has run, and the knowledge of how a students' union, how I want it to run. So I think I can offer something slightly different to the other guys. I'm sure they can offer things that I can't. But obviously for me, I think from the sports and society side of things and knowing how the students' union runs, I think that's the best thing that I bring to the table.
Right. Thank you very much. The question is asking, what would I be able to provide? I'm not here to provide my own opinion. It's the student's voice. If the student comes up to me and says, I want this to happen, then that's where I stand up and say, I'll do it. So what I've got to provide, to offer is, what you're asking me to offer is what I'm going to offer. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, see, what I'm going to offer is, you know, these guys are working with these guys for the past 2 years at the beginning. They're very, very great guys, and they've got strong, some parts they're stronger than I am. But what I've got that's different to them is, you know, me, I'm very, very outgoing, and my DJing experiences and working with people, organizing events and talking to people, what the people want and what the people need is what I'm going to give them. Like Alpha said, I think it's just similar to what Alpha said, like, that's what I'm going to say, it's still my answer. But I'll say, like, yeah, I'll be able to, like, you tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. Like, you know, me, I'm just a dead devil, I'll just go with whatever you want me to do. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I like the things you've said, and but then there's another reality. And how do you plan to get the students to engage with you? Besides, you said they talk to me to tell them what they want. Chiti said something about the groups all being on their own and all that. How do you get everyone to tell you what they want? How do you plan to engage with the students and get them to engage with you?
Good question. I think obviously everyone has their own strategies for trying to get students to talk to them. I'm not going to lie, I've got a good knowledge of a lot of the students in the university, and I've got a bad knowledge of some of the students in the university. The university is so diverse that I don't know everyone. I would like to, I would like to know every single member of the student body. It is very difficult. But obviously I would happily open my door to any student that wants to offer me something that I haven't already thought of. I'm not going to be able to think of every single thing that you might want, or you might want. It's something different for everyone. If you have something worth saying to me, however little or however big, I'm happy to listen to it, I'm happy to talk to you about it. In terms of actually getting the students to engage with me, I think that will come more in the time that we actually get elected, the time where we can actually go out there and talk to the students. That paperclip wasn't supposed to fall off. In the time that we can actually talk to the students, actually speak to them, see them at halls, see them on nights out, see them in university, keep them an open door policy. When people walk past the office, you can see who walks past, you go and talk to them. You get as many students as possible to come and see you. It's a difficult task, it's hard to do, but hopefully I'll be able to do it.
Thank you, Mr. VP. As my fellow candidate said, everybody's got different strategies. And my strategy is, no offense, Mr. VP. I've been here 2 years, 3 years, and during my lectures, I've never seen any of the presidents come and introduce themselves to me. They've never come in class. They've never come in my student halls and say, Arthur, how are you doing today? How is things going? Are you okay? Those are things I want to introduce. I want to go to a lecture and at least ask the tutor, can I have 1 minute of your time to just introduce myself to you, to the students, so they know that I'm the president and this is what I've got to offer. If you've got any problems, come to me. That's what I'm going to do.
I was just looking at my phone 2 seconds. I written something and I forgot to say it when I was speaking earlier. I would ask the Vice President, do we have a suggestion box? That's one of the idea I was thinking as well, is for people, for me, like to interact with people, have a suggestion box that will put in SLZ that like every week I'll be seeing what people have written, what they want, and that's like more interacting with them. And it can be anonymous because some people don't want to be known. Like, when someone wants to make a complaint, they don't want to be known like, they're making a complaint. So it can be anonymous, they can just like come up to me. If they don't want to come, if they can't come to me, then just write on the suggestion box on what they want in the union, what they want to be done for the university. And I'll also go around and talk to people like I've been doing, for the radio station, and just asking people if they know anything about the radio station, and just get people to get involved in like knowing that there is Chido there who does this, and he's gonna give us this, and that's about it. Thank you.
We might have some more questions, but we'll swap the order round in answering them this time. Okay, so you've got a question. Yeah.
Oh, my question came from one the tall man said, drop the balls. No, you. The man at the major.
Oh.
The tall man.
So he talked about the white people standing, the Asians, and the blacks. Even in my law class, it's that way in the university. So how do you intend to bring us together to speak as one? How do you intend to mix the black and the Asians together?
Black, Asian, Portuguese, Chinese, color doesn't matter in the university. All we need is to bond together. It's the connection with the universities that we've not got in this union. Because we tend to think, oh, there's no socialization, so we need, what I would do is I would engage more with different universities. And then, let's say if you organize an event, right? You get a different university to come here, and they see how we socialize, how we interact, how you're with. Now, a good example, if you look at this road, you've got blacks there, you've got whites there, you go, why is that happening? It's because we don't go out to mix with different people. all we know is also music. I know him, I know that, and that's it. That's all we need is interaction from different universities to see how they do their things and then we do better.
Alright, that's a good question. How am I going to do that, if I was going to do that? The main thing I've seen really when it comes to the whole ethnic, be like Asians, this side, black people, it all also comes back to what I do is music. When it comes to music, you get people going like, oh, I don't listen to that kind of music because it's white people's music. I don't listen to that kind of people because it's like black people's music. And I want to be able to create an event where I can say like this. Everyone has to like is invited and have like DJs from each like denomination. Now we have an Asian DJ, English DJ, or whatever, or DJ just plays all the music. And all I'm gonna say is, oh yeah, just guys, let's just come together and have one party. And like let's say when we are together, everyone's just gonna dance and be like, oh yeah, how do you do this dance? You know, teach me how to do this. And teach you like the way we're learning, like you're gonna teach people some things they don't wanna know. Like we're having the international evening, which is coming on Saturday. I'm going to make it about like the last few years when it's an international evening. You see everyone comes together. You get people doing African dances, people doing Asian dancing, like hip hop dancing. Everyone comes together. It also like comes back as well. It's just the music and. The way I think, like, I would want to suggest to lectures that, like, in terms of, like, when they're giving art assignments, rather than people they're picking their own groups, the teacher has to, or the lecturer just have to, like, get the people to interact and mix and match everyone. I know it sounds a bit difficult because you'll be like, oh no, I don't get along with this person. And the other thing is like people don't want to interact with other people because of the language barrier. And I want to break that language barrier because we can communicate like sign languages, like everyone's got a smartphone these days. If you really can't understand someone and just say, oh yeah, so what you guys trying to say, just go and Google Translate and just show them this is what I'm trying to say and they can see that in their own language. And that's how I think like will make people interact with each other.
I agree 100% with that too. What Chitty said with the International Society, it is the biggest society in the university. It is, a lot of people when they come to university they might think, oh, International Society, that's not for me. That's not something I want to get part of, just because you don't know what it's all about. But I got involved in the International Society last year and sort of found that it was a lot more useful to me to get to know more people from different backgrounds that maybe before I came to university with I wouldn't have talked to. I might not have socialised with Arthur, Chitty, any of the guys that are sat in this room today, but obviously through the stuff that I've done with the International Society, through the stuff that I've done in the Students' Union, I'm happy to socialise with anyone now. And it's not a racial thing, it's not anything to do with that, it's just that maybe the prejudice has always been there and you always look at things slightly different. But the International Society's helped me to open my eyes a bit, and I feel privileged that I've been able to do that. In terms of actually sort of bringing everyone together, I think we use the International Society. I think the International Society needs to be more vocal in the way it puts its view across to every student. It's not that they exclude anyone, but when I first came to university my first year, I didn't know about it because no one told me. So obviously I think, next year, from a Students' Union point of view, whichever one of us three get in, I think we'll push the International Society as being the sort of base for us to get to know everyone. Okay.
Any more questions? That'll be you, Lola.
So you've talked about how you would engage with students, and I'm glad your answers made a lot of sense. But one thing, on your own, you're just on your own. There's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do when you're engaged even with the students. What is your plan to work with the union staff? Because they're the ones who've got so many years, they've got resources that you cannot even begin to think of. they could easily tell you what will work and what will not from once you start a sentence. How do you plan to work with them to get those resources and make the best use of them? What's your plan?
So you did go first.
It's an easy question and an easy answer. And the answer is, you have to be close to your members of staff. You have to bond together and know what problems they're facing and how you can solve them. And they have to know what problems you're facing so they can help you solve them. So that's why it's called a students' union. You need the students to help you when you're running, obviously, your office. And by that, you need the staff, me as the president, and the students to make it work. Does that answer your question? Yeah?
Alright, okay. Discussion. The ladies in the office, and they're always nice. They're always smiling, and when I come to the office, they're very, very nice people. And I think working with them, how I'm going to interact with them, like, I think there's more support to you in terms of like, I'll create a bond with them, and we create a bond with each other, because these past years, even when I go to the office to get the keys for the radio station, they're always smiling, they're like, you're right, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just one other day, like, I'm so welcome to them, like, when I come into the office, it's just like, I'm walking in to get some food for my mom and saying, like, yo, mom, pass me something. See, that's how it is. They're just wonderful people. And the other thing as well, like, I don't want to put much work into them. It's like, obviously, you say it's just going to be president this year. And what I'm going to do is, like, every society's got their own president. And each month, I'll try and get a meeting with everyone from their societies, and they tell me what's going on with their societies and what they want, so that like I'll bring it back to the office and tell the people and just get advice from them to like in terms of like what I need to do, because every day is a learning day for everyone. Like you learn new things every day, and I'm not gonna say I know everything. They're gonna help me, and I'm gonna be asking them as well, what can I do to help these people, and I'm just not gonna base on my own decision as well. Because if the people in the society as well tell me what they want, I'll just go to any random person in the whoever is free, and just be asking them for their opinion. So what do you think I should do? And that's it, I think. Does that answer your question at all?
It's no joke, it's going to be difficult next year. With just one person, it's going to be very hard. Like you said, there's a lot of stuff that with three of you is very hard. So with one person, you're going to need the help of the office staff. Out of the thousands of students we've got at Bolton, I can guarantee the majority of them don't understand what the Students' Union does in some ways. Like a lot of you won't know what Janet and what Helen do. A lot of you won't know what Sue does in the office. I think working with them and sort of getting an awareness of what they do will help the students on a whole, because then if they have a problem that is regarding they need advice, yes, they can come and see me. Yes, I'll do the best I can do. But when we employ someone like Janet that is able to give you that confidential advice that you need, that's something there that I can then offer to the students. When you want to become a course rep, yes, I'll do as much as possible. But you've got Helen. When you want to join a sports team, I love sports, I'll do as much as possible, but you've got Sue as well. If you want to work in the bar, yes, I'll try and put in as much of a good word as possible. I'll try and get you the information you need, but we have a bar manager. Working in unison with them and not against them, like I said in my speech, is probably the main thing that I'll try and do there. Like Ola said in his question, that it's going to be a very difficult job for whoever gets in with one of us, when they've over the last sort of 5-6 years they've struggled with 3. It's going to be difficult. I think we're all up for the challenge. Let's get voting. Thank you.
All of you have mentioned increasing the amount of activities available to the students.
but what steps will you take to actually make them come to those activities instead of taking the odd night out to J2?
Definitely stay away from J2. That's simple enough.
Right, thank you. As I mentioned before, I want to get more resources from different universities. The more we go out there and find out what different universities do, we can compare whatever they do and make it better. Forget the freshers, we go to J2 all the time. We need something different, and that's what I'm here for. J2 and all that. You don't want that. I've been to Manchester. Yolanda witnessed that. I've been to Manchester Uni, Southwold, and all that. They do good events. So I want to connect this university to different universities to create something good.
Alright, okay, so me personally, what I think is when it comes to events and doing events, I'll be able to host them because I've hosted a lot of events before and I'm more experienced in hosting events. And rather than just be like going J2, I mean, like, what I see where people are coming from when they say they're going J2, because one other thing is space. What space of like the people, and because like sometimes you can say the space is too big or it's too small, but when you go to J2 they've got different levels where they've got like different types of music for everyone to accommodate everyone. And that's what I was talking about earlier, that like we have an event where we have different DJs for the uni that can DJ different genres and you know, just like play for everyone and accommodate everyone rather than everyone just going J2. Because I think our student union, like the bar, sells cheaper drinks than J2, and if we give like cheaper drinks for people, I think they'll be able to come as well and just tell people like what's happening. And in terms of like, you know, the events as well, interaction with other universities, I think that's a good idea as well, because we can have a day, we can say let's have Southwold University and Bolton University water fight competition, and find a place where you can have like, you know, a water fight or whatever, and just interact with the other universities. And that's just another event that will bring people together, because you're gonna be talking to people who you do not know, well, because you're on the same team, like the Bolton University team, you all want like together. So that means like, you know, the events, like rather than just going J2 all the time, we can also have day events as well, where we can have like, you know, one of the presidents or people in the office staff, we have like what you call it, sponge, whatever, like, you know, throw sponges at the lectures, and, you know, just take your revenge at the lectures for giving you like, you know, a deal or whatever in your lectures. So I think that's another way of, you know, getting people together rather than just going J2 all the time.
Before I start, one, that water balloon thing sounds amazing. Two, put Chris Minter as the sponge. Yeah, anyways, let me remind myself, J2, different events. I think the main thing I've tried to do is if there's an event that someone wants to do, then actually getting people there shouldn't be so difficult, because if you want to do an event, a lot of the times you've got a lot of backing behind you. I think sort of listening to what people want and me saying, oh yeah, I really want to put on, you know, a white party. It's not what everyone wants, it's not really what I want, but obviously if people want it and there's enough people behind it to sort of make it justified to actually try and put that event on, to work with the clubs in town. You know, I've worked in the Loft Bar and I've worked at J2. The atmosphere that you get in the Loft Bar when it's busy, when there's lots of students there, is unbelievable. The atmosphere you get in J2 is terrible. At times when, you know, they say they do a student night, and the majority of the students that go there don't go to this university, they go to the colleges, they go to universities that they come home from. You know, what's the point of going to a place where none of your friends are really going to be? So obviously, yeah, I'm all for working with the clubs in town, whether that be J2, Macaulay, Square Lounge, whatever happens in the future, that's a different matter. But obviously, more events at the Loft Bar is what I really want to do, because that atmosphere is unbelievable. When students get together and really put it in, you know, them events are great. So we'll try and do more events like that, but definitely that water balloon fight, that is happening.
Right, before we carry on, I know there's a couple more questions, but I'm really to be asked. Have you got one as well? So we've got 2. We'll do them, but really quick answers. Okay? Who wants to go first? Yeah? Yeah?
Okay. As a union president, we've got a situation where we want something as the students, and the university authority is not ready to give that. I'm trying to say is this: as a union, you are an entity, and the university is an entity. You try to bring both together to make us speak as one. If you want something, we want something, and the university doesn't want it. How do you intend to get us to a win-win solution where both parties will be happy? The student will be hurt and the university will be happy.
Okay. Pop it back again, it's not on first yet.
That's a very hard question. How am I going to do that? Okay, how am I going to do that? I think, like, in short, if the union and the the university are not agreeing on something, I think obviously at the end we're gonna get in terms of like an agreement where I can tell people like, you know, not everything is gonna happen all the time. I can be like, where you want something to happen and the university doesn't allow it. All I'm just gonna say is, you know, we can't do this, and give the explain to the people like why we can't do this and the procedure like I've taken, and show you how much work I've put in. I think that's what I can just give to people rather than just like be like, oh, I don't know, I'm confused.
It's a hard question, an easy question to answer as well. That's why I've got the members of staff, because the university is different from the students' union. So the members of staff, we come together, find the student, then we fight. We fight for the students' power. We're not going to give up just like that. If the university says no to what we've asked for, me as the president, if elected, and my members of staff, we have to find a good solution. We have to fight against it. We're not just going to sit back and relax.
Definitely agree with what Arthur says. You know, as a Students' Union president, you're automatically a member of the Board of Governors. If you have an issue, if I can't get around that issue by trying to talk to people in the university, just me and them, then I will take that issue to the Board of Governors. I will talk to the Board of Governors and I won't rest until it's done. Love him or hate him, Chris Minter is a valuable ally. He will work with you, he will work against you at times, but he is doing what is best for that Students' Union. He has got some great contacts within the university. If you work with him, then you can see results. Okay, so that Board of Governors is the really big one, because if you take it to the Board of Governors, they're going to have to listen to you. If they don't listen, you keep pushing it, you see how it goes. Okay.
One last question, very quick answers. Oh, sorry, have you not got a question? No, sorry, no, I think that's it then. That's it. It has to be one that we can answer very quickly.
Yeah, very quick one. Yeah. The man at the middle, you talked about.
You can't direct it just at one
No,
person.
I'm thinking from what he said, his manifesto, basically. He talked about getting people together, DJ stuff and all that. It's not every student that does that. For someone like me, I don't party. As a law student, I'm serious-minded. So for the reserved ones, people that are not involved with parties, DJ stuff and all that, how do you intend to involve every student? Because we are one, and we've got different beliefs and ideas.
Okay, Adam, do you want to go first on that?
Yeah, I completely agree. Not every student parties, not every student goes out. As a third year, I hardly ever go out anymore. Mainly because I'm very, very boring, very, very under the pile of work. In terms of getting other people involved with different things, that's more weight. If you come up with an event, like you're a law student, you want a law dinner, you want a law afternoon, something like that, you bring it to me, I'll work with you, I'll work as much as possible with you, and I'll try and get that sorted. Using the office staff, using yourself as a non-sabbatical, using anyone else in the university that I can, I will work with you. It's not all about you, it's not all about
using my candidate's idea, I would kind of do the same thing, because I know I'm a third year student, I like partying, and I keep on top of my books. So I would organize different events for different kind of people, because not everyone wants to go and get jiggy with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All I can say is, since you for all the serious students that don't want to sort of interact, I think there will be more people in your field that don't want to have party, and so that I'll have study groups where you can people have study groups and they study together, rather than because some people don't want to party like you said, no, don't want to party all the time in their study groups, and I agree 100% with what this guy said. I've told him my answers.
Okay, so thanks everybody for coming. Great questions. Can I just have a quick word with you before you go? Yeah.